There are few things that can bring more beauty and joy into your home than a lovely bouquet of flowers. But unfortunately, flowers don't last. However, there is a solution. Do you know you can preserve flowers to last a lifetime? And here to teach us how to dry flora using silica is horticulture expert extension agent Clarissa Cherez.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, thanks for having me.
So glad you are here. So tell us how we can preserve our flowers using silica.
So what we're going to be using, so I have a fresh flower that I harvested this morning and some silica gel. Silica gel, think of beef jerky. You know how they have those little silica gel packets at the bottom of it? What that does is it's supposed to absorb any moisture to keep that beef jerky nice and fresh and dried. So the silica gel, it is almost like a form of sand. It's going to work the same exact way. We put a flower in it, and after a few weeks, it will absorb the moisture from the flower, and so it'll be a nice dried flower that you could do projects with.
Now, Clarissa, where do we find silica gel?
I ordered mine online, but you could also probably find some at craft stores.
At a craft store. Okay, so we put it in some type of a bowl, and then you just immerse the fresh flower in it?
I'll do a demonstration for you here. You are going to want a bowl that is going to have a closed lid that will keep it airtight. So in this one here, you can see some of my material that has been sitting in the silica gel for a few weeks. It is nice and hard, therefore it is nice and dry, as versus a fresh flower is going to be more nice and soft, so you can tell that it is still nice and fresh. So all of these guys have been sitting in the silica gel for a few weeks. What I'm going to do, I poured a layer of the silica gel in this one already. I'm just going to pour that on over, and then just pouring the silica gel from this one into that one, and then putting a lid on it, and it is going to be dried out from there.
And about how long? A couple weeks? Okay. And now, do they become, if I may, I want to touch one of these, that you were telling me they get a little bit crunchy. They're kind of delicate in this state.
Yes.
So what would we do with them once they're in this state?
What I do with the dried material from there is you can actually do lots of different craft projects, such as using resin. So here is a resin block that has some of the dried material in it. Resin will harden, and so it is basically just a what appears to be glass, but a hard plastic resin item there.
That is beautiful. And you were telling me these are flowers from a family member's wedding?
Yes, these are flowers from my sister-in-law's wedding.
What a special way to preserve them.
Yep, that is one of the reasons I love preserving flowers, is you can really preserve memories. Think about any special occasion where you might have flowers. While you might have paid a lot for them at the time being, it's a great way to make them last a lifetime.
And any tips on at what point we want to try to preserve our flowers? For example, you know, this looks very fresh. She said you just picked this today.
Yes.
So you need them to be pretty fresh before you do it?
As fresh as possible. If they are right at about the point where they're going to start to wilt, that is probably the perfect time. You can enjoy them for a few days and then go ahead and start placing them in the silica gel.
Now, you gave an example of what we can ultimately do with them using the resin. What are some other things?
I've also seen people make resin jewelry, so such as earrings or necklaces, pendants, different things along those lines with this kind of method.
Beautiful. Any other tips that we should know?
There are certain kinds of silica gel that are color that will produce a color. So this one is, you can see a little bit of an orange tint. You'll see a blue tint when it is still moist, and then you can look for the color indicator. All different flowers are different in terms of how long they're going to need to be in the gel, but the color indicator can help you know when it's ready.
Interesting. And how long were these in the gel?
They were in the silica gel for about 2 weeks or so.
Okay. And I noticed you also included some greens as well, so not just the blossoms.
Correct. Yep. Any of the plant material can be preserved in the silica gel.
What fun. And these could make nice gifts for someone. I mean, perhaps you could surprise someone by preserving flowers on their behalf and then make it a gift.
I think homemade gifts are becoming more common. There's a lot of sentiment that goes into those, so that it does make a great gift.
Clarissa, this is fabulous. Now, if people want to learn more about how to do this, you actually teach some classes, right?
Once a month at our extension office, we have our monthly gardening, so garden and art. They all differ, so whether it's a terrarium or pressed or dried flower art like this, once a month our gardening series classes are offered on Fridays, so you can look into those and hope to see you at my next class.
I love that. And how can people find out more?
ocextension.eventbrite.com is our website where all of our classes are listed.
Thank you so much for sharing this with us. We appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Well, we're glad you were here, and hopefully all of you were able to learn a fun new way to preserve those beautiful flowers and have them last a lifetime.